In February, Pope Francis traveled to Abu Dhabi and became the first pope to visit the Arabian Peninsula. The reception in the royal palace was one of the most spectacular in living memory. During this trip, the Pope signed together with the great Imam al-Tayyib an important declaration in promoting universal human fraternity against the use of religion to justify violence.
Nel nome di Dio creatore dunque va senza esitazione condannata ogni forma di violenza, perché è una grave profanazione del nome di Dio.
The document lists some fundamental rights that the two leaders support. They also pledge to protect and defend the rights of women, the elderly, children, and minorities. The Pope also celebrated Mass for Catholics in the region. Out of the 1 million Catholics who lived there, most of them foreign workers, there was only 100,000 who were able to attend.
Per voi non è certo facile vivere lontani da casa, sentire magari, oltre alla mancanza degli affetti più cari, l'incertezza del futuro. Ma il Signore è fedele e non abbandona i suoi.
In February, Pope Francis met with the presidents of all Episcopal conferences to address the issue of sexual abuse. Coinciding with the meeting, several groups of victims took their petitions to the Vatican.
We are most interested in zero tolerance for clergy abuse, zero tolerance for cover-up by the bishops and leadership. Pope Francis has talked about that for 6 years, but it needs to be made universal.
The summit lasted 3 days with cardinals, but also women, such as a Vatican employee, a nun, and a journalist. 3 issues were addressed: bishops' responsibility, accountability, and transparency.
Il santo popolo di Dio ci guarda e attende da noi non semplici e scontate condanne, ma misure concrete ed efficaci da predisporre. Ci vuole concretezza.
The Pope closed the meetings by launching an 8-point strategy. He asked that priority be given to the victims, that no abuse be covered up, and the seminarians be well selected.
Norme, non solo orientamenti. Nessun abuso deve mai essere coperto, così come era abitudine nel passato. È sottovalutato, in quanto la copertura degli abusi favorisce il dilagare del male e aggiunge un ulteriore livello di scandalo.
In February, there were 2 serious reports of cardinals. Cardinal George Pell entered prison after an Australian court convicted him of child abuse. He has maintained his innocence since the case came to light.
I'm innocent of these charges. They are false.
During mid-February, the Pope laicized former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick from the priesthood. He'd been Archbishop of Washington and considered guilty of abuse of minors as well as adults, with the aggravating circumstance of abuse of power. It is the first time that someone has been expelled from the priesthood for abuse of adults. On the other hand, Pope Francis also elected a new Cardinal Camerlengo. This is Kevin Farrell. He would temporarily become head of the Vatican State in the event of the resignation or death of the Pope. During those days until a new Pope is elected, he will be in charge of administering the temporal goods of the Holy See.